Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this pre-Turkey Day episode, we check out X-Transbots' next figure in their third-party Protectobots combiner, a Powermaster Prime prototype from Keith's Fantasy Club, and Nemesis Prime is reborn as a teddy bear. Today is Wednesday, November 24th, 2021, and this is episode 461 of Transmissions. Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that says, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm your host, Charles, a.k.a. Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, a.k.a. Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
Creator, producer, and star of Empire of Rust, Editor Mike.
This intro has 300% more ass than I expected.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
I feel like I recognize that from somewhere, but it doesn't seem to end the same way. I can't put my finger on it. Let's talk Transformers.
Ba-dum-bum.
As always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you so much for continuing to help out the show. We really appreciate it. And we welcome a brand new Donatreon, Gabriel. So, Gabriel, thank you for signing up. We really appreciate you helping us out. Hope you're enjoying the podcast.
Hi, Gabe.
You're our new favorite person for the week.
But not the other Gabe. Not that Gabe. It's a different Gabe.
I would have said Gabe if that was the case. This is just Gabe.
Okay. If you'd like to become a Donatron, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. And this week we have the next episode of our live play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. This is episode 63, 12 Angry Bots. And it just came out this Monday, November 22nd. So it should be in your podcast feed right now if you're subscribed to the main feed. If you want to subscribe to Empire of Rust directly, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/rust. Mike, you want to give us a little tease of this new episode?
Well, last week's episode, or the last 2 weeks' episode, was heavily focused on Sweet Spot and Magnum, as Magnum dealt with some of his backstory, some of his personal stuff that's going on. This week starts off with Carapace and Wildstrike and what they're doing while all the talkie bots do their talking stuff.
And this ain't talking. Yeah, this is and so this is continuing the storyline where we are the fate of Magnum hangs in the balance. He's on trial for grand theft artifact. And we'll see if he escapes, and if he's put away forever, that's gonna, well, I mean, I guess the show will continue on, but we'll lose. Magnum will no longer be a part of it, but we'll see. And I have a feeling he might escape, but we'll see.
Maybe.
At least, yeah. Nothing in life is assured, right?
Last week's episode was called The Trial of the Century. This one is 12 Angry Bots. And I will give you a tease for the next episode is Mortilus's Advocate. So you can kind of see the theme I got going on there, huh?
I like it.
They're all trial names. Trial movie names.
All right. Well, look forward to that. Well, you should already have access to that. So, listen and enjoy.
They can still look forward to it.
If they've already listened to it, then they can't look forward to it. Well, Anyway, we also have our monthly Toy Hacks drawing that is coming up. We'll probably do that next week. So you've still got another week to enter. Either you can become a Donatron or send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com with a picture of the Transformer toy you'd like to get some labels for. So those are the two easy ways to enter our monthly Toy Hacks drawing. And all our Donatrons are automatically entered every month, so that's an easy way to do it. But yeah, you don't have to be a Donatron. There's no purchase necessary to enter the contest. So good luck. And before we get into toys, I just want to mention a quick note. Our friend Dr. Pants invited me on Nerdstradamus this week. They're doing an episode talking about Metroid. I think specifically the focus will be on Metroid Dread, the new Metroid game that just came out last month. So we're going to have some fun talking about that. Metroid I'm a big fan of Metroid. I like the Metroid games, played them since I was a kid. And the new one was really good. So we're going to have some fun. And tune into that as soon as we have links. It's probably going to be a YouTube show. So as soon as we have links and information, we'll put that in the show notes. We'll put it on social media and check it out. All right, let's jump right into some toy news.
All right. And first up this week, we are talking about X-Transbots again. Holy cow, we talk about them a lot. And this week is something completely different. We've been talking about them with regards to a lot of their... they've been putting out a lot of CG models, a lot of... what were they? Oh man, I just forgot the name of their little, the three cars that... My God, my brain is broken. The mail-away cars. Mike, help me out here.
Omnibots?
Omnibots! Jesus Christ, I can't remember. Can't remember anything. So
Overdrive, camshaft, and downshift. Yeah,
those guys. So X-Transbots has been putting out a bunch of pictures with those guys in different color palettes and such. But today we've got something completely different. And X-Transbots is putting out the first pictures of their prototype for Paragon, which is their masterpiece scaled first aid. So they are doing a Defensor, and we've got pictures of this before because they have shown off some CG modeling of this so Defensor in full-sized Defensor, and it looks okay. I know that we've got one from, I think it's Ocular Max is putting them out, but Mastermind Creations, basically. It's a Mastermind Creations project that they're doing. And so we've got two masterpiece-scaled combiner Defensors coming, but this one here is from X-Transbots. It's their MX-31 Paragon masterpiece scaled first aid, and he's big. He's a big figure. They've got him in comparison shots here with MP44 and Masterpiece Ironhide, Masterpiece Trax, and I'd have to say he's probably about as tall as Masterpiece Ironhide. And I mean, if you've got one, that's a big figure. So this thing is it's going to be big. There's some definite pictures here of first aid in his arm mode. So this is a different type of figure than what Mastermind Creations is putting out. So Mastermind Creations has done the thing where all the components created for or needed for the component piece are integrated in that figure. This is not that. This is kind of classic Scramble City style, design. The first aid figure is going to actually separate into two pieces, and then you're going to add components to create the arm. So you're going to break the figure in half, essentially. You're going to add a hinge for the elbow. You're going to add the fist to the bottom, and then you're going to add the component to join the arm to the torso. It's a lot of bits, but they're making use of these other bits in when he's not an arm. So they're turning him into this kind of med station, kind of repair bay kind of deal. And at least they're doing something with it. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's definitely being used in some capacity. So I kind of like that. I don't have any kind of comparisons between, what the X-Transbots and the Mastermind Creations is going to be. I have a feeling the X-Transbots is going to be bigger. It looks like it's bigger, but I don't know how much bigger. But anyway, let's kind of go around the table here and see what thoughts are on it. Mike, you've got some experience with Defensor. What are your thoughts on the X-Transbots? Moving ahead with their Defensor project here, and the size, the scale of it.
Yeah, this is a beefy looking figure. This is Yeah, right on the same size as the MP Ironhide. He's about like head and shoulders taller than most of the MP cars. A little shorter than MP Prime. I think it's the MP44 Prime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like a really, really beautiful figure. I mean, they've really hit the... it feels like they hit the animation model like really, really like well on this one too. I mean, it's looking like spot on to it, and it just does look really, really good. I'm seeing the I think these are just the CGI images of the painted versions, or not the painted, but the color CGI images, and that vehicle mode is fucking beautiful. Yeah, just
nice.
the chrome kind of silvery like rims on the hubcaps and the tires there. That's just gorgeous. Such a small detail, but that's one of those things that if you start adding that to like all your figures, that's just so good. But yeah, I mean, I really love the way it looks. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of having to split the figure apart to add in pieces to it, but that's also what happened on G1. So I'm not upset by it. I'm not opposed to it or anything. It's like, okay, that's how you're doing it. All right. It's not the way I would have went with it, but it's okay. That is what it is. But yeah, the ARM mode with, and I think this is the exact reason they did it too. The ARM mode with those extra bits in there looks really, really good and really solid. And I don't think they would have been able to do that if they had not approached it this way. So yeah. I'm excited. I'm not the biggest fan of all the extra pieces for the combined mode, but I mean, it does look really nice because of it.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I'm just checking out here on BBTS just to see if there's any information on it, and they do have it up for pre-order right now. It's sitting at $129.99, and they are actually talking about the like the little add-on bits, the med station, whatnot, as a separate piece. So, I mean, it's necessary to create, the ARM, but they are talking about it as it being a separate piece. So that is a little bit more chunk, I guess. The only other one that's actually out right now is the Streetwise figure, which they're calling Fuzz. That's a great name for a third-party figure. That's a police officer. That's just fantastic. And it is already in stock, so the speed of these releases is kind of slowed quite a bit, and he's $99.99. So, is a little bit more. I don't see any pictures of the Fuzz figure in its component mode, but I can assume it's going to have similar type of bits and bobs that are going to be needed. Charles, this is an ambulance, and they are necessary for society to run properly. Thoughts on your ambulance becoming an arm?
Somebody call the Wambulance. It's first aid. It looks good. I mean, it is it's bigger than I would expect. I mean, you don't usually expect. I mean, I understand the masterpiece scaling, but usually the limbs I would think are a little bit smaller, like trying to be in line with the some of the smaller like Autobot cars or whatever. But it looks good.
Well, let me jump in here with a little bit more information that might help. I just went into the information about the Defensor fully combined figure, and which they're calling Bastion, if you remember us talking about that. We talked, I mean, this information came out in April. Like, that's how long ago this has been a topic. But this Defensor that they're putting together is slated to be 51 centimeters tall, or 20 inches in your measurement system. This is a big freaking figure. So, this is going to be some full-sized, masterpiece scaled, individual components combining, which is, I like that. It's good. Make these combiners big, scale them up. I like it. But, if you don't want to use the figures in their combined mode, they gotta fit in, right? They can't just be kind of puny little bots. They gotta actually work, in your display.
Yep. Well, I understand the compromise. I think you're going to have to compromise in one direction. You either get, like, especially for combiner figures, you either get the one of the modes looking kind of janky, but you get all three modes like transforming correctly and without any extra kibble. Or you could do what they're doing here and make all three modes look great, but you have this extra kibble and attachment thing that makes the arm look really nice. But then you've got all these leftover accessory for when first aid is just first aid in robot and ambulance mode. So so it's a trade-off. Which I think it's fine. I like the little med, like Daryl, like you said, I like the little med station thing. That's an interesting use of those bits. I would prefer to have everything just in one package, just to it's nice to have when your combiner is completely self-contained and compact. But you are gonna, if you do that, you're gonna have to trade off at some point, like in terms of either the individual bots will not look as good, or the limbs in combined mode will be stiff or not very articulated. So, so you got to deal with those trade-offs. But I think this looks good. It's at a $130 per figure. That's probably, I'm not big into getting the masterpiece size combiners anyway, so I probably wouldn't be picking this up. But yeah, if you're really into Defensor and you really want a nice Defensor, it looks like this is a good choice, but it's a pricey choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jeremy, what else is there to say? It's, this is, it's all about safety with this one. It's an ambulance. It says emergency on the side. I think you got to get it. It's for the safety of your household to have something like this inside your home. It's like a first aid kit.
The med station, the med station by itself, that's a necessity.
Yeah.
You break a remote, you just set it in there and it'll fix it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The character's, G1 name is first aid. You can claim you have a first aid on site on your home insurance.
Don't actually do that, folks. Yeah. Important PSA from Transmissions.
Yeah, first aid is not an actual first, but I think this thing looks really good, and I agree with what everyone said about the extra pieces, or like Charles said, you can either have compromises in the individual modes, or you can do something like this and have all the modes look great, but you have to have these extra pieces. And I think for something like this, that's not really mainline, it's not something that you're going to go get off the shelf at a store. It's a premium collector, and this is where you can be choosy. If you don't like this, then there's going to be another combiner that doesn't do this. And I think it's fine to have the choices. Personally, I think it works to the benefit of this figure, because every mode looks really good. The ambulance mode looks great. The robot mode looks great, and the arm looks fantastic. So I think doing it this way was to the benefit of the figure, and being able to reuse that arm skeleton part as a med bay. That I love it when they give you a reason not to just have the extra pieces in a box when they're not being used. And this is great. You can have like they have in the picture here, you can have first aid posed next to another figure that's laying on the med bay, and that enhances your display. So I think it's great.
Right on. And lastly, just before I toss it over to you, Jeremy, I looked up the Mastermind Creations version of this character, First Aid, and it is also up for pre-order. It's $20 cheaper, but it is smaller. I wanted to see the size difference if I could find that information. And the X-Transbots version is about 2 full centimeters taller so it's not a lot. The Mastermind Creations is 7.5 inches, and the X-Transbots is 8.3 inches. So it's close, but X-Transbots is a bigger figure, and then obviously a little bit more expensive. You're getting more plastic, obviously, with the X-Transbots, but there appears to be much more engineering with the Mastermind Creations. So it's completely up to you. The choice is in the hands of the collector. So anyway, that's what I brought to the show this week. Jeremy, what do you got?
I have a bear that transforms into Nemesis Prime. This is the bathing ape Bear Brick X Transformers Optimus Prime black version, 200% size. This guy is 14.5 centimeters tall. He is the bathing ape mascot, which is a store in Japan, or a brand in Japan. That is this little bear looking thing. And it transforms into, the original was Optimus Prime. This is a black Optimus Prime. They didn't even give it like a Decepticon logo. It's still Autobot logo there, but this is officially licensed by Takara. This is not something you would ever see Hasbro doing. Anything that they license does not transform outside of that Robeson, however many thousands of dollars auto transforming figure. So Takara is a little more open apparently. And like this, I went to the actual Japanese page and translated it. It actually mentions Optimus Prime, Autobot Commander. The guy has the Autobot logo on him. So I think this is kind of cool. We've talked about it in the past. They've done a green version and they've done, a regular Optimus colored version. But this is, and apparently this is not Nemesis Prime because they also did a Nemesis Prime version with like red windows and teal and stuff. So this is just a black Optimus Prime. It will be 7480 yen, or around $65.62. And it's going to be available November 20th on the Mediacom toy website and the A Bathing Ape shops in Japan. So, I mean, this is interesting. It's, obviously doesn't compare to the, third party Masterpiece figure we just saw, but I like these weird things. Mike, what are your thoughts? And would this be something that you would be interested in if you ran across it?
No, this is just, it's silly. I will say this about it. I'm looking at the comparison shots between the robot mode and the alt mode, and I really love just how compact this figure gets. Like if you look at the rear shots of the bear, I mean, there's like no excess kibble hanging off this thing at all. So it's not a shell former or anything. I can see how the arms kind of turn into the bear legs, but still, I mean, it is a incredibly solid, like, well-designed figure. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me a little bit of the Disney Transformers that they did like a while back.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, and when you look at the bear, just if the ears were a little bit bigger, you would think it's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly where I went with it. So, yeah, it's certainly not for me, and not for like almost $70. But I can certainly appreciate its engineering, because I do love seeing that like everything fits in correctly, fits in nice and snug, and looking at the alt mode from all sides, like unless you didn't see the seam down the middle, you would not be able to tell that this thing's a Transformer at all. So,
right.
Good on them. The engineering team, yeah, big props to you. Just not for me, though.
Well, Daryl, I mean, you guys have bears up in Canada. You think you would pick up one of these?
I'm probably going to pass on it as well. It's pretty expensive for the size it is. The part that kind of grabbed me right off the hop there was that it's 14.5 centimeters tall, which is only like 5 3/4 of an inch tall. Like it's not big. And that's still at 200% size, right? Like that's the big advertisement here is it's 200% the original size. Okay, Yeah. Okay. But that's still small. Like these things, So, I think it looks cool. I can agree with Mike that I appreciate the engineering that went into this figure. But Bathing Ape, they produce a lot of interesting designs. Like they put a lot of really cool color palettes together. But they also jack the prices up on these things.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to have the numbers of a mainline figure.
No. Yeah. But no, I can appreciate exactly what they've got going on here. It's a really cool looking figure, and anyone who gets one is lucky. It's a neat figure.
Cool. And Charles, what are your thoughts on this and weird exclusives like this?
Yeah, it's definitely an odd one. I mean, we've talked about the Bathing Ape stuff before, but this. I mean, I appreciate that it transforms and everything. It's not for me, but I see how it could probably appeal to to a niche market. But I appreciate the effort that went into it and making it transformable and everything. But yeah. And yeah, I mean, they could just if they rebranded this as Mickey Mouse, I think it'd probably be a lot more popular. Mickey Prime or something. I don't know if Disney and Hasbro got together. Yeah,
well, I mean, they, like Mike said, there were some official Disney Transformers back in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't know if the current people running both Disney and Hasbro would be on board with that.
Yeah.
Considering how many crossover things and collaborations we've gotten, I really can't imagine they would object.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got this week. Mike, what do you have?
Well, I'm bringing it back to the third-party masterpiece side of things with KFC Toys, P14 and P15, Raijin and Grand Raijin, updated images for their Powermaster, Optimus Prime, and Super Jinrai figures. And yeah, I think we talked about this on a previous show, if I'm not mistaken. Daryl, does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, we've definitely talked about this before.
Okay.
In Prototype, I think we saw it.
Gotcha. But these are updated color images, and yeah, I mean, it's looking beautiful. I don't think I was actually on the show to offer my opinions on this, because I think I would have said something, so I will offer my opinions on it right now. This is a beautiful looking figure. I am really loving it. That is all. Daryl, what about you? Were you thinking of picking this guy up with all his superposability?
So the last time, I remember when we talked about this, the last time we saw pictures, I don't think we saw the Powermaster. Well, so let's see, what are they calling them here? I guess just the Inner Prime. We didn't really see the Inner Prime mode in robot mode, because that looks really good. I actually really like that a lot. What they were showing off and what I kind of had a problem with was the Powermaster Optimus Prime. I didn't really like the way that looked, and I still don't. The part that stands out to me, and still just I don't see how it kind of has made it through, the design process, are the Powermaster Prime's feet. They're atrocious. There's no toe to speak of, right? And it's just like this flat plate on the bottom. Like, okay, I get that, you need something for stability, and that's what the plate's there for, but you gotta design something to make it look like a foot, please. And if you're hearkening back to the original toy, I get that, because the original G1 toy really had shitty feet, but he also had no knees and no, hips. It was a brick. It was a literal plastic brick. But you gotta improve on if you're improving everything, then let's go here. These feet really bug me. and I don't know. I can't see past that. The inner robot, like I said, is fantastic. I think it looks amazing. And as a standalone figure, I'd consider buying this by itself. You know, it looks really good. But that Powermaster Optimus Prime, the combination, it just looks horrid. I don't like it.
So the feet on this one are actually very similar to the way Hasbro and Takara did the Titan's Return, the Power of the Primes version of Powermaster Prime with the God Bomber add-on, that whole thing. Like the feet on that were remolded from that Ultra Magnus mold, and were kind of similar to this. Like it was just a little chunk of a foot on there. There was no actual foot coming out. Did you dislike that one too?
Oh, mine's buried at the back of a shelf right now that I can't really see his feet.
You don't know what it looks like from memory, Daryl? Come on.
I don't.
Come
I mean,
on.
I bought all those kits too to add on to them. I have all the extra the perfect effect kits for that figure.
That's fair.
And I bought all that stuff as well. So I have the God Bomber and the Powermaster Optimus and all that stuff. That figure's got a lot of coin invested in it right now. So yeah, I don't remember what his feet look like off the top of my head, but I really like that figure.
Yeah, the remold they did into Powermaster Prime, they changed the feet. The Takara version changed the feet, and Hasbro's the one that was in the Velocitron box set, or one of the box sets that he came in, they remolded the feet into something that looks very, very similar to this. So maybe, like, I don't think they're echoing that or anything. I mean, it's too new to be an homage to that, but I think that's might be where they're going, just to make it easier to add in the presumably coming up God Bomber attachments to it. But I'm not going to argue with the fact that it doesn't look great. Charles, well, Daryl just stepped on this. Are you going to walk all over it too?
No, I had Powermaster Prime when I was a kid, and he's a pretty stiff brick. So seeing all the posability and articulation in this figure looks good. I mean, I think the inner Prime robot is the better of the two. Like the Powermaster Prime, he just looks a little plain to me in terms of like the front, I don't know. There's something missing, but in the smaller Prime, I think he looks very good and looks very nice. I mean, this is a problem with Powermaster Prime in general. Like the original toy, the truck mode is on the truck face is on his back, and then he's got the fake chest truck in robot mode, and so they've carried that design here, and you can see both back and front.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it's okay, but I prefer that not to happen, but it's okay.
I totally agree with you.
I do. Yeah, I do like the cab has a little details, like a little driver seat and steering wheel. That's cool. I wonder if you can fit some of those Masterpiece figures in there. Yeah, I mean, overall, it looks pretty nice.
What about you, Jeremy? As the biggest Powermaster Prime fan on the cast, and a big fan of feet? I don't know where I was going with that. What are your thoughts on this? Is this something that you'd be interested in?
I was ready to say that I really, really like this figure, and then Daryl pointed out the feet thing, and now it's trash. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I'm kidding.
Just walk all over your dreams.
Besides the feet thing, I really like the figure. I mean, the truck mode looks great. The base mode looks really good. The inner cab, like Daryl was saying, looks fantastic. It just, the feet thing. I mean, it seems like they could have just put a joint, made that little panel there just flip down, and you have the support from the trailer doors that go, behind the foot that will give it the stability. It just seems really weird. But they do also say that there is a God Bomber set coming, so maybe they're just planning on that being the real feet.
I should hope so.
But I mean, you shouldn't really plan on having to get another figure to make your current figure work. That's kind of dumb. But out of all of this, I really want to get that Japanese Coke can. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
As a fan of different like Coke memorabilia, I think that looks really cool.
Yeah, I think we buried the lead on this story. One of the pictures, for size comparison, has a Japanese Coke next to the inner robot, and the inner robot is like 2.5 cans tall.
I know that. I mean, I'm guessing that the can is a regulation size can and not like a half size, which I know you can get overseas. But I would say this would be a slam dunk if not for those feet, and Daryl just completely ruined the figure for me.
You could say that he walked all over it. I'll be here all week.
So you can edit.
Jeremy, where's that rim shot?
I didn't know if it deserved it, but
no, it doesn't. I'm under no delusions. So a couple of final things on this one. The base mode is really, really impressive looking. I am definitely liking that. And with no feet to muck it up, it actually is a really, really strong mold. The double blasters that come with most Powermaster Primes have this kind of like double hinge on like where the handle would be, allowing it to kind of rotate up and down like separately, which I thought was kind of neat. I will agree with pretty much everyone here that inner robot does look really, really nice just sitting on its own. And the little opening doors on there to kind of show inside. It's got a little dash on it, a little steering wheel. I think it's going to be too tight for an actual like MP figure to fit in there. Even if it was like custom made for it, it's just the steering wheel is just too close to the seat. It's just too tight. But the fact that the doors open at all and show that detail is really, really nice.
Yeah, can I say one more thing on this?
Absolutely, of course you can.
The head on both the inner robot and the Powermaster Prime, they're both really excellent. Some of the best Optimus Prime heads I've seen in some of these figures.
They are really solid looking. Yeah, and that inner robot seems superposable too. So that's one thing this set really does have going for it, is the posability is really, 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 really nice. But yeah, that's what I got this week. Charles, why don't you go ahead and bring us home?
Okay, well, I have the Wave 5 of War for Cybertron Kingdom, and there are 3 reveals that we've already seen Blaster, and we knew these other figures were coming, but now we've got all the official pictures. So we've got Blaster, Pipes, and Slammer, which is the little tank that came with G1 Metroplex back in the day, but now he's got a robot mode, and he looks good. I think we did get to see him. We saw some leaked pictures ahead of time, but these are the official images. Pipes, of course, is a retool of Huffer. They say Slammer is actually a retool of Ironworks, which is interesting. And Blaster is an original mold with Eject as I think Eject is maybe a retool of the Frenzy and Rumble figures. Well, I'm not really sure, but maybe. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about Blaster already. He looks really good, really nice. Pipes and Slammer, I think, are also looking pretty good. Pipes in particular is based on his G1 cartoon appearance. So, if you remember him from 5 Faces of Darkness, I think that was when he first premiered as a background or a bit character. And then Slammer, of course, is Metroplex's one of Metroplex's little buddies. So if you have the 2013 Metroplex figure, this will complete all your accessories for that Metroplex. Since we had 6 Gun in War for Cybertron Siege, now we have Slammer, and I guess the original Metroplex came with Scamper. So
good luck finding that nowadays.
Yeah. But I think these all look pretty good. I I'm probably going to pick up this blaster if I can find it, at a store maybe. I don't know. I probably will pass on the Slammer and Pipes just because I don't have the Metroplex, so I probably don't need the Slammer. And I already have Huffer, so I probably don't need Pipes. But Mike, what do you think of these figures?
I'm loving the blaster mold, just like all the rest of you, and I will pick that up if I find it. I believe you are right, Charles, where the eject is just a retool of the existing cassettes that are already out. The transformation is slightly different because the Rumble and Frenzy put their arms up over their head, where it looks like Eject is folding his arms kind of into his leg. So, yeah,
okay.
There's some small differences, but it looks like the engineering is at the very least like very, very similar to it. So definitely a pickup on Blaster. Definitely grabbing Slammer because I just love the look of it. I think I was on the cast when we first talked about Slammer, and yeah, these images have not done anything to dissuade me. So Slammer, yep, definitely going for you. I don't see the Ironworks in this, but I don't know. I see a little bit of Brunt in there, but yeah, Ironworks, maybe? I don't know. Either way, I still want to get this because I love the look of Slammer here. Pipes is a pass, not because I dislike the figure. I just don't want a deluxe-sized mini-bot. If they're gonna, if they released Warpath and Huffer and now Pipes, and it's like, you know what, these are great looking figures. I actually really like the looks of them, but they're out of scale with the mini bots I already have. Just Hasbro, make an actual legend sized mini bot of these, please. That way I can complete my mini bot set. Stop giving me upscaled stuff. But yes, that's the only reason I'm passing on Pipes. The same reason I passed on Huffer. I don't need a deluxe size mini bot. That's it. But Blaster and Slammer are certainly pickups for me.
Cool.
Also, good luck finding Wave 5 in stores.
Yeah.
Get your pre-orders in as soon as you see them, because otherwise you will never see them.
They're up now.
Well, shit.
I just put a link in the chat for you.
Yeah, that was also part of my story. The pre-orders are live for all these figures at all the online stores. We got TF Source, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Robot Kingdom, Chosen Prime, Toy Jojo, ages 3 and up, Dorkside Toys, all of those places.
TF Source is sold out.
Toy Jojo?
Toy Dojo, not Jojo.
Right.
All right, Daryl, what do you think of these figures?
Well, are you ready for me to ruin each one of these figures for you?
Just look at the feet.
No.
Look at the feet.
Don't do
Blaster
that.
does have feet.
Well, buckle up. Because I can't. I love them all. I'm getting every single one of these figures.
Daryl, fake out.
I'm when we talked about the Blaster, I was really excited, and I'm still really excited about the Blaster. I mean, the eject I could care less about. I'm fairly certain there's going to be a normal colored eject set with the rest of the tapes for Blaster. So I'll just wait for that. Pipes, I've been waiting for Pipes for a while, and Slammer. I got all the other ones. Got to get the Slammer. So, I'm getting them all. If I can find them, that is. So yeah, it's, no big whoop. I'll get them when I can. But, I'm eagerly awaiting these guys.
All right. And Blaster's feet look actually better than the G1 figure's feet. So it's got that going for him.
Just a plate that flips down.
Yeah, exactly. They look much better now. They put some thought into the engineering of the feet. Yeah, that's what you get with Hasbro with the first party toy line. You get attention to the feet.
Only took them 40
you're actually
years.
not wrong. Considering they've had ankle tilts in the last couple of years, yeah.
All right, Jeremy, take us home.
All right. Well, I could ruin this Blaster foot appreciation. The way they did it was they have a fake speaker. The legs, like the speakers from alt mode, are on the side. You have to turn it around, and then
Oh,
the original one. It was the front speaker. There you go. We ruined the figure. More for me to buy. I think these are great. I'm looking forward to grabbing Blaster. Likely I will have to get it online because I never find anything in stores. Maybe it'll show up in Ross in a few months. But these all look great. I've never been the biggest Pipes fan in terms of the toys, but probably just because I never had them as a kid. But this looks really good. And Slammer, I mean, I probably wouldn't get him because I don't have Metroplex or anything else. But you know, I'm happy that Daryl's able to complete his Metroplex finally. Yeah, these are all great. And I do see that you can see in the picture of Blaster, there's a spring visible under the cassette door. So, you know, the door is spring loaded. And I think they showed during the roundtable thing that it actually does work. Cool.
Nice.
Neato.
All right. Well, I'm going to make peace with the fake speaker part of Blaster's legs and still buy this figure because I still think it's great. And that'll do it for our toy topics this week. So we will move on to trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition on YouTube. But we'll put the audio right here in the podcast so you can keep listening as we describe everything we got in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, let's show off the stuff we got. And I'm going to go first because I don't have a lot of stuff. So I'm going to show off my King Grimlock number 3. This came out a few weeks ago, but I don't think I showed it off on the podcast yet. But yeah, this is issue 3 of the miniseries. This Grimlock is an interesting character. He's very might makes right Grimlock in his books, and I'm surprised at how much this story the story is, at least, you know, taking a lot of elements from that G1 episode Madman's Paradise. So we talked about that when we reviewed the first issue of the comic, but it's continuing that trend, and so we'll talk about that in this week's alt mode. So King Grimlock number 3, that's what I got, and this is cover A. So this is Brian Lee. That's the guy, Brian Lee's cover. All right, Jeremy, what do you got this week?
I got a bunch of comics. So went to the comic store, picked up. I thought I didn't have a lot, but apparently I did. I have Transformers number 36. This is the Anna Malkova cover. And this is such a fun cover. I like it so much. I got Beast Wars number 9. This is the Josh Bertram cover. Scold, really fun new character. I got the Wreckers Tread and Circuits number 2. This is the Alex Milne cover. And then Shattered Glass, have number 3, cover A. Again, this is Alex Milne. And then also I have the Sarah Petra de Roche retailer. Really cool. And that's all I got this week.
Nice. All right, Daryl, what figures do you have to show off? Something brand new, I bet.
No.
Never before seen on Transmissions.
It has definitely been seen because I didn't get anything new this week, so I just pulled something off the shelf right here. So accessible. And I was hoping I had batteries in it, but then I was thankful that I didn't because they wouldn't have been used for quite some time. But this is my G1 Shockwave, and he's pretty nice. Yeah, he's a pretty nice figure. I do remember having to cobble him together because of G1 Shockwave issues. But yeah, I did fix the shoulders on him. And I believe I used 3 different Shockwaves to put this one together. But yeah, I did it. It works. I don't have a battery in it right now, like I said, but it does function. He still functions. Noticing
How was
right.
the rubber on that hose?
That's Megatron. That's Megatron still functions.
You pathetic fools! There's no escape. Is that right? No. The rubber on the hose is good. We're under attack. Scramble. Hey, I got it. Okay. So
Did you
yeah,
get the battle for him as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's in a bag of parts. So yeah, he's good. There's some, I guess, I don't know. You could call it cracking. I guess on the hose. It's it's dry. It's 40 years old, so it's pretty dry. But yeah. Other than that, everything on him works. He's great. I try not to transform him if I can help it because of the shoulder issue. And even though he's been repaired, I'm still kind of worried about stuff. So if you have a G1 Shockwave, you know what I'm talking about. The shoulders can just kind of and explode. So yeah, G1 Shockwave, a really great fucking figure if you can find one.
All right. Well, now we finish up with Mike, who I think has got probably a sizable post TFCon haul to show off.
I do. It's going to be a bumpy ride here, so buckle up. Starting off with some comics, and these are comics that Charles graciously hung on to for me for a while, before I was finally able to get them from him at Baltimore this year. So starting off with TF Nation, the Decepticons Time Terror, the little hardcover book that they had printed. Really, really fun little book to get. So cool. They're starting off with that.
It was like 4 years ago.
I know, right? Unicron Zero, free comic book day version. Try to get the glare off of there. Yep, there we go.
Time traveling with
I
Mike.
got that for you.
Signed copy of the retailer exclusive of Unicron number 1. Good stuff. The convention exclusive cover of Unicron number 1.
Oh my God. We are going to be here a while.
A bit dated, huh? The Casey Collar sketchbook. Marvelous Mechs. So cool. The SDCC cover of the Transformers Ghostbusters number 1. And last comic is Daryl's favorite, signed copy of GoBots number 1. What do you think? Should I call it a day now?
It's just the beginning.
Okay, so a couple things I got for my birthday before we went to TFCon. I got this little Soundwave like Mini-Mates figure thing. It's like a solid plastic body, but it's got like little like cardboard push-ins for the arms and legs. It's an interesting little figure. Kind of strange, but you know what? That's kind of cool. It's actually got like 2 like different faces, and you could just pull the face out and then put a different face in. So that was neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. Continuing the trend for Soundwave, I got the red Soundwave, or the RED Soundwave, I should say, because he's not actually red; he's blue with the little mini laser beak in there. So yeah, honestly, I wasn't thinking of picking up any of the red figures, but I really do like this guy. Superposable. Both his elbows and his knees are like double articulated, so you can actually get some pretty crazy poses in there with him. So yeah, overall, really good solid figure. Ankle tilts and everything. So yeah, just a good time. So that is Soundwave. Now moving into TFCon. I was finally able to find an ape face from Titan's Return. Titan's Return? No, Siege. Finally got myself a Siege ape face. I had found Snapdragon a while ago, and now I got the pair completed. Good, solid figure. From Charles, Titan's Return Overlord, not Overload, Jesus. Or Power of the Primes, I forget which one. Big, beefy figure. Very fun figure.
Titan's Return.
Was it Titan's Return? Excellent. Mm-hmm. Well, you would know, you had it for a couple of years, so.
Yeah.
Now Charles has lots more room for figures.
Now, I'm not going to show off everything that I got in the past month or two, just because we'd be here forever, but I will end with this figure. I finally found myself a Netflix Soundwave. Yeah.
Very cool.
He's beautiful. Decent deal, too. I think it was like $70 or something like that. I mean, you know, reasonable for this figure. Still unreasonable, completely overpriced, but for this figure, certainly.
Until you see someone found one at Ross for $10.
Oh, God, I am so scared on that. Well, what was it? I just saw a while ago that the Netflix Bumblebee was being reissued or something. It's like, oh, that does not feel good at all. In addition to the Soundwave, did finally open the Siege or the Earthrise little like multi-pack or the 4-pack that was exclusive on Hasbro Pulse of the cassettes with Rumble or Frenzy, whatever the hell it is. I don't know which one it was. The blue one. And the Scar and Knock and Wing Thing. So, got those ones. And Wing Thing.
That's a fun little figure.
It is. It is. I need to find the last 2-pack, the red one and Ratbat. I think Frenzy and Ratbat, or Rumble and Ratbat, whichever one it was. The 2-pack that came out. Those are the last 2 I'm missing, and then once I pick up Blaster, we'll get whichever ones come out for him. There's a couple of things that I did pick up, but I will hold off showing those for now because those are like the really expensive ones, and I think I'll just in case I don't get anything big in the next month or two. You know, you gotta parse it out here. You can't just blow your load all at once.
That's what she said.
But yeah, so TFCon was a great time. I'm very glad that I was able to find the Netflix Soundwave. That was like one of the figures that I really wanted to get off of my my list. So yeah, super glad I found him, and yeah, I was able to open up all of the 4-pack I got too. So excellent.
Yeah, I remember that parts party evening, and you picked that up, and then the next time we saw that Netflix Soundwave, they were selling it for what, like $150 or something like that. So you gotta.
Yeah,
it's a relative deal.
I got a deal on it. It wasn't great, but yeah. I mean, the idea of paying like $70 for like a Voyager anyway is just it's maddening. Mm-hmm. But like you said, like the next cheapest from there was like $150 or like $140 or something. Oh man, just
you could have just flipped it.
Yeah, no, I could have. But I kind of wanted this figure. I was planning on flipping the Gigawatt I picked up, but that's like $8 now. So
it's not even a numbered one.
Yeah, who fucking want to buy that? Exclusive for $8, or buy a regular one for like $30. But yep, that is it for me.
And that is it for Trips to the Store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
We're back from our trips to the store, and we will move on to convention news.
All right. We have a Comic-Con special edition. Not sure which shows this is for. It looks like it, could be Ace Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con, or I'm not sure. Los Angeles Comic-Con is mentioned here. That's coming up in December. But Symbiote Studios has, they've done plushies in the past. They're Transformers licensed. But they have a special Comic-Con special edition Unicron plush head. And I think this is great for, living room couches. Anywhere you want to impress people, you should get one of these, and it will just, it's soft, probably great for cats to lay on. I don't know, this will be $40. And if you do get this, please send us pictures because I want to see it. But they've done plushies like Grimlock and, G1 characters and stuff in the past, but you're just probably the life of your friend group if you can say, hey, I have a plushie Unicron head. So are any of you guys going to look for this?
Look for it? No, but if I happen to see it, then I have multiple cats and I have a wife who loves pillows and plushy things. So yeah. 14
inches tall for the head, and then the horns make it 20 inches. So there you go.
I'm not a plushie guy, so I have a Unicron already.
You used to be a plushie guy, and then you lost all that weight. All right. Well, that's all we got for convention news.
Oh my god, I love the comments on this page. You cannot deny my destiny. Sit on my face. Your snuggling postures are highly dubious.
Wow.
Sometimes comments can be really fun. Sometimes the internet can actually work.
Yeah.
All right, we will finish up the show with feedback. Okay, so we got an email from Will, friend of the show, long-time Donatreon Will. He writes, "Hey guys, so I live in Glasgow, Scotland, and my girlfriend lives in Baltimore. That's a distance of about 3,000 miles. When TFCon was on the other week, she bought a ticket and went along on my behalf, and at one point video called me when she was looking through Livio Ramondelli's prints. I ended up having a video chat with him. It was fab. So she's bringing a bunch of comics and prints when she visits at Christmas. It was generally one of the sweetest things, especially as she couldn't give half a fuck about Transformers. So my question is, when have your other halves gone above and beyond the Call of Duty, Transformers-wise? What's the most romantic thing that springs to mind?" So I think I'll go last because I've got a few. But Mike, do you anything you want to start off with?
You son of a bitch! I gotta follow up you. Jesus.
No, you have to.
No, I'm going at the end. So
Yeah, we all know. We all know what your life is like, Charles. All right, so my wife Cass really hasn't done a whole lot just on her own. The couple times that I've been to a TFCon, though, she has come with me and had a pretty good time. She's super into like Transformers plushies. Like she picked up a bunch of plushie Dinobots and the plushie cassettes, like Rat-Bat, Ravage, Laserbeak, and what have you in the last TFCon. But actually no. The first TFCon that she was at, the 2016 one. She pretty much manned the table that we had there for almost the entire weekend. So that was super cool of her. Yeah,
She's a rock star.
yeah.
Yeah. But as far as things for me separately, she hasn't really doesn't do too much of that. Unlike Charles's wife. And damn you for making me follow up you.
I'm going at
We
the
all
end,
know,
so no
Charles.
one has to follow me.
We all know.
All right, Daryl, do you have a story?
She lets them live.
My wife doesn't do anything with regards to my Transformers hobby. I think the best that she does is tolerate me. That's about it. It's I have this debilitating hobby that I'm a part of, and she just lets it happen. So that's her gift to me. Is that she doesn't encourage or discourage. She just turns a blind eye, which is some days that's the best thing to do.
I said, she lets you live.
She does. She does. Yeah. And, yeah. The only time that she really does take notice is when it starts to influence the children. So that's, you're
a bad influence.
Yes. But, no, it's really not been, my hobbies have been my hobbies and her hobbies have been her hobbies. And we really don't push those on to each other. She doesn't get upset when I try and do my thing, and I don't get upset when she wants to do her thing. And, yeah, we have a very happy relationship.
Cool. Jeremy, do you have a story?
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple. When we were first dating, my wife was at a toy show or something. For some reason, I don't even know why she was at the show. I think family was going or something, but she saw this red Bumblebee, G1 Bumblebee, and she's like, "Oh, Jeremy likes Transformers. I'll pick this up." And she got it for $25. And it turns out it's one of those Argentinian red, G1 Bumblebees. And I just looked it up on eBay just now, and they go for crazy money. probably mine wouldn't go for a lot of money because the card's messed up. But it was cool because I'm like, this is just, I'd never really seen on card one of these, wrong colored bumblebees and stuff. And so that was cool. And then when I turned 40, she contacted you guys and put together this like long audio clip of like you guys and other like comic creators and podcasters and stuff, just kind of saying happy birthday. And I thought that was something I'd never really would have thought of. And it was really awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool idea. And she came to us and we were glad to help her out and help her make your birthday dreams come true.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's what you wanted from us all along, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it was pre-Unicron. So now that I have that Unicron from Daryl. How about you, Charles? I mean, should we just stop recording now and let you just kind of take over the rest?
Well, we're already the show's running a little bit long, so I don't want to. I won't go into everything because it's been a lot. Look, over the last 8 years of the podcast, she's
just tell us what she's done this month.
Well, the one thing, way back, even before we were doing the podcast, I mean, she always knew I was into Transformers. She bought me for Christmas one year. She bought me I think it was the 20th anniversary Optimus Prime. The G1 Optimus Prime that has the DVD and the comic book packed in, mm-hmm. and the little voice box and everything. And she gave it to me, and then she was the one who said, "Oh, you shouldn't open it because this is a collector's item, so you keep it boxed like this and don't open it." And yeah, I guess I took that to heart.
Yeah, you did.
But also after we started doing the podcast, then Peter Cullen came to TFCon that one year, so I got that box set signed by Peter Cullen. So now I definitely can't open it. But yeah, that was the first awesome thing that she did for me.
Little did you know that she just didn't want to admit to her friends that she had a husband who played with toys. He collects them; they're worth money. But no, if you opened it and started, you had it open and out on the table, she had to say, "Oh, he plays with toys."
Well, I embarrass her in lots of other ways anyway.
Don't we all?
But yeah, I mean, she's done a lot, from commissioning different artists to custom art for me. I mean, just last Christmas she got a custom artwork for done by Livio Remendelli. I mean, it's in Trips to the Store. It's behind me in Trips to the Store every week. She heard that Aaron Archer was going to be at a local Comic-Con here and went to the Comic-Con and got him to do some custom art and then held it for me and gave it to me for Christmas another year, which I had no idea she had done. I mean, she had done all that on her own, research. I mean, I didn't even know she knew who Aaron Archer was, and she, as a longtime Transformers toy designer. So that was amazing. And she got those prints that Andrew Wildman was selling a few years ago, that the big Unicron print. She got one from Andrew Wildman. They're all numbered, and she got it framed and everything, and that was another awesome gift. So those are the highlights. But it's been over the years many different things that she's done, and all while not having any interest in Transformers and actively, not being slightly annoyed with the time I put into this hobby, but still encouraging it and doing things that she knows I'll appreciate and are special. So yeah, Trish is great. She's awesome, amazing, and can't praise her enough.
She's the only one who's actually listened to an episode as well, I think. She's done it multiple times.
She has, yeah. I mean, that's part of her independent research. Yeah. So yeah, Will, congratulations. It sounds like you've got a keeper as well, so that's awesome. And enjoy your holidays when you guys get together on Christmas. So. All right, well, that will take us to the end of this episode of Transmissions. Mike, why don't you give some shout outs where people can find your stuff online? Of course, in addition to the awesome live play RPG podcast, Transformers RPG podcast, Empire of Rust, the first and only Transformers RPG podcast. What else can people find of your stuff?
Well, if you're interested, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Minervion. That's Minervion. And I post some 3D work from my day job. I post some toy photography. And it's just a good time. So, yeah, if you're interested, go ahead. Give me a follow. Give me a shout out.
All right. And Empire of Rust is, of course, at transmissionspodcast.com/Rust. All right. Of course, we always end the show with our Masterpiece Donatreon shout-outs. So thank you once again to John 4X Levengood, Dinobot Maximize, Demon Tech 82, and Septimus Solvane. You guys are amazing. Thank you for continuing to support the show at our highest level. And everyone else out there, if you'd like to continue to help us, you can buy some merchandise from our TeePublic store. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. Anything you buy from TeePublic through that link will help us out. And that's it. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that says, kiss my ass, kiss his ass. Start over again because I did it wrong. Okay.
I noticed that you got an invite for Metroid Dread, but the rest of us didn't. I see how this is going.
Well, Mike, do you own a Switch, a Nintendo Switch?
I do.
Oh, do you have Metroid Dread?
I don't.
Daryl, do you have a Nintendo Switch?
I do not.
But do you have Metroid Dread?
Yes.
So you just look at the cartridge and imagine playing it?
Well, no, I bought the really special one with the book. So I read the book.
Okay. So you spent an extra $30 for that.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Uh-huh. Jeremy, I'd ask if you have a Nintendo Switch, but I know the answer. And yeah. It's a secret in case Alex is listening, so I shouldn't ask.
He is not listening. And thank you very much for helping me procure that. Christmas has been saved, thanks to Carl.
Alex is going to have a good Christmas this year, but
well, if he gets to play it.
Okay. But yeah, Alex is probably too young for Metroid Dread. But
oh yeah, he's gonna get a Pokemon game.
I think I suggested Jeremy get the Pokemon Let's Go because those are remakes of the original Pokemon game. So I thought that would be a good starter.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. He's watched on like kids YouTube and has been asking me about it.
What the hell is happening now? What is Where am I?
I was ready to move on.
What show is this?
Mike opened the door, so I'm in my wheelhouse now.
Listen, Daryl, all you needed to do was just buy a Switch and you'd be a part of this conversation.
And really, all you're doing right now is you're listening to outtakes. So
This is nuts.
All right, this is all getting cut out probably. Anyway.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Are you editing this week, Mike? Please say yes. Please say yes. Please say yes.
No.
Oh. Then you don't have anything to say about it.
Hasbro really pays attention to feet now, don't they?
They got Danny DeVito working for him now.
Does he have a foot fetish?
Yes, a famous foot fetish.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Nor was I.
Well, there you go. Congrats.
Thank you for explaining the joke.
You're welcome. Learn something new.
Not what I expected to learn today.